Well, Mankato Department of Public Safety is partnering with other law enforcement agencies and the Towards Zero Deaths campaign to combat a spike in distracted driving on Highway 169.
Evan Berg has more on their efforts and how they'll be tying into a wider awareness campaign this month.
Whether it's a call, a text, or some other distraction, Minnesota law enforcement is encouraging drivers to drop the phone and focus on keeping themselves and others safe on the road.
Too many drivers think they can multitask. Unfortunately, these decisions can lead to deadly consequences.
Starting this Wednesday, state and local law enforcement will increase their presence on Highway 169 from Canada to Iowa, with a goal of 0 crashes to kick off TZD's Distracted Driving Month.
Put the phone down, pay attention to the road, and help save lives on the highways.
The Blue Earth County Sheriff's Office says in the past 5 years, there were 33,000 distracted driving-related crashes in the state. In 2025, there were 21 distracted driving-related fatalities.
People, a lot of times, the priorities just, they get a little bit misdirected in thinking that, hey, I got to take this call right now, or I've got to respond to this message.
The Mankato Department of Public Safety is being both reactive and proactive with the campaign. TZD helps pay officers overtime so that the department can have 1 to 4 extra cars on the road, including a new $100,000 unmarked truck.
But with a vehicle like this, we're able to blend in with traffic and actually see those offenses as they're occurring.
The department is also partnering with TZD to do workshops with the next generation, which has never not had access to smartphones.
Impact Teen Driver encourages our teens, their friends, their families to save lives and encourage them to make good decisions every single time they get behind the wheel.
Over the past 3 years, the number of distracted drivers seen during this campaign has only gone up, but the department is hopeful it can make an impact.
Increase in enforcement, obviously, we're ending up writing more citations, having more contacts with people. Unfortunately, from our patrol side of things, we're not seeing a decline in the use of cell phones.
In Mankato, Evan Berg, KEYC News Now.
Increased enforcement on Highway 169 is expected to continue throughout the month. Towards Zero Deaths hopes the high visibility of law enforcement will encourage some drivers to second guess pulling out that phone or other distractions behind the wheel.